Welcome to the North Bay Echo Sportscast number 40.
I'm Ben Sargent.
And I'm Dave Dale. We got a real kind of different kind of show for you this week. We're going to have some highlights from the sports that are going on. We got a little bit of North Bay Bulldogs. We got a little bit of North Bay girls minor softball. We got a little bit of men's baseball.
Yeah, we're also going to go over our top moments of the last season for NDA sports as that has officially wrapped up.
Yeah, and that's going to make for a neat little look back and maybe get some juices going and thinking about what we're going to do next year.
Yeah, we also, so Paul, who's not here because he's in Niagara, I was with him for the One Kids Place Golf for Kids. We have a cool little update throughout the show that we're going to interlace into this show as well.
Yeah, some of the girls from the Junior Lakers were interviewing others. That's I saw some of them already on social media. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a long day at the Golf and Country Club, but we got some good stuff. We also have the Mattawa Canoe Race, my favorite event in the entire world, which was kind of a surprise for me, but we got some of the results. I was not in it.
Well, some locals made it to the media release, so that's going to be pretty cool. And who's our sponsor this time?
So today's episode is brought to you by the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation.
Dear North Bay, as a single mom and full-time student, life can feel overwhelming and budgets are always tight. But one thing I never question is how deeply I care about my community. When I began volunteering at the North Bay Regional Health Center, I saw firsthand how much the healthcare system means to people, especially when life takes an unexpected turn. It made me think, what if it was my child, my parent, or my friend that was in need of care? That's when I realized I wanted to do more, to be part of something bigger than myself. I joined the I Give monthly club because even a small monthly gift can have a meaningful impact, helping ensure everyone in our community has access to the care they need right here at home. If you believe in strong, local health care, I hope you'll join me. Sign up at nbrhcfoundation.ca or call 705-495-8125. It's simple and it matters. With gratitude, Kim Cosgrove.
Some of the most popular things from our high school coverage was actually the interviews with the student athletes themselves after a big game. And the number one was
Jacob McGill. That was probably our first one that popped off. We had about 5,000 views on Instagram.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. Like the one neat thing is I never had that in high school. So it was nice. It's nice to give these people a platform when they normally wouldn't. And I think it's a little bit different than just being in a newspaper or something like that. It's kind of neat because it's all these people interacting with like their classmates and stuff who are on the Instagram.
Yeah, and they get an experience of an interview with somebody trying to get them to say stuff after like a big event, which is, I think for each of them, some of them were the first time they've been interviewed like that. So Algonquin's Jacob McGill there. So game MVP of the NDA Championship, how's that feel?
It feels awesome. We lost last year, and that's been sacred in our hearts for a long time now. And to finally bring it back to Algonquin and give Debs that trophy back feels pretty good right now.
Yeah. How long have you been playing football?
Since 10th grade.
Yeah.
So this is my 4th year playing football.
Right on. So what do you like about the game, and specifically a big game like this?
I love the energy, the atmosphere. There's nothing like it. Like nothing compares to getting in that huddle with the boys and you just get fired up for the game.
Yeah.
I really like to hit. I love to hit. It's my favorite part of this sport. It's a big physical game, so I think I bring that pretty good, and that's my favorite part.
Tell me about some of your teammates that really made the difference this year.
I got to give a shout out to number 95, Wyatt Grant. He was beside me. He's the nose for us. Big boy. He's been making big tackles all year. He could have got this trophy as well. Truly, it could have went to anyone today, but I was picked, and I'm honored.
Another Algonquin interview went fairly well. That's for boys basketball.
Yeah, so we there were two that were really cool. We had Pat Lalonde, who of course is the coach. Mm-hmm. He had a great interview before. I believe that was when he came in at halftime.
Right.
And I don't know if you remember that one, but he kind of gave a little bit of a halftime speech, and then I think they came back in that game, I want to say.
Yeah, we talked about his halftime speech.
Oh, you talked about it. Yes, that's what it was. But then we also have another one with Owen Hamilton as well, one of the players. Mm-hmm. And the teachers I understand, but some of these kids are also really good at speaking, which is really impressive. And as you always bring up, they're very smart and they go very far in life, or they're going to if their aspirations come true.
Well, they show excellence in sports, athletics, as well as academics, and that's a real strong combination when you're going out into life. Pat, that was a pretty good seesaw affair. You guys came out storming, but then they came back, and then you were able to get them back in control. What did you guys do at halftime to get back into it?
I'm not going to tell you that because we're going to keep that for the playoffs and maybe a secret for later, but made a couple of adjustments on their personnel that we tried to figure out maybe we'd match up somewhat, and some of those worked, some better than others, and we were better at making our own decisions and not making so many turnovers in the second half than we did in the first half.
Then number 13, I'm not sure his name, but he looked like he was on fire for shooting.
Number 13 is Owen Hamilton. He was all right tonight. He's a pretty consistent shooter and scorer for us. He can score many ways. He goes to the basket hard and he can shoot threes. He's slippery. So when he's on. Tonight was one of his good games offensively, and he also works hard on defense, took some charges. So he's a catalyst for what we try to do at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, it looked like he had a great game out there. Tell me how it felt. You guys came out strong, and then you had to regroup.
Yeah, so we're throwing a lot of turnovers because we're kind of playing street ball from the break coming back. We weren't all together. We weren't meshing like we usually do, so we had to talk about it in the change room. Our coaches really had to get us down on moving the ball and cutting, getting to the paint, and then kicking out to get open. So we had to do a lot of that.
No, I saw that actually. It looked like you really firmed up on the passing, and everybody was playing more of a cohesive game the second half. Is that a usual thing for you guys?
Usually when we play a really good game, we're all playing together. Like the ball's being moved, we're cutting, we're using a lot of shot clock, and we get a good shot, good open shot. So when we play good, we play like that. And then when we're not playing good, that's what we try to improve on. We try to move the ball a lot and get open.
A really exciting championship for the high school was the hockey championship with Schollard beating Chippewa.
Yeah, it was funny because the one time they were, I think it was the finals. I think there was a vote or something. Was that around the time of the provincial election? It was close in that time.
No, I'm not sure if it was.
It was either the semis or. Anyways, I just remember because I am in Ferris, so I went to vote at St. Francis, and the place was packed, and I was like, oh no. This is so many people will be there. There was
it was.
There was no one in line.
Yeah,
there was one other person in line. They were all there for the West Ferris Arena. Which the surprising thing I heard was, who were we talking to? Was it one of the Bradley boys? Mm-hmm. Where they were mentioning they prefer Ferris.
Yeah,
the ice because of how small it is versus Memorial Gardens, which is kind of interesting. But it was kind of cool. Schollard, of course, winning. Yeah. They got to raise the trophy. That was. Even though there was, I think, only 3 teams in the NDA this year for hockey, it was very competitive. Yeah. And it's interesting because I do a lot of the play-by-play for the Trappers. So that's the U18, that's AAA. And this is kind of like AA. Like a lot of guys who were AA, maybe a little bit below that, or some of the people who are in that kind of range were playing it. And it's still really good hockey for what it is.
Oh, yeah, no, it was good competitive hockey for what it was for the 3 teams, and that's what made it an important sort of thing to battle for the Nugget Shield.
The Nugget Shield, and it was Schollard who hoisted it.
The Schollard Hall Bears beat the Chippewa Ravens 5-4 in overtime to claim the Nugget Shield, the NDA championship for 2025. What an exciting game. Because the Ravens' lead goalie was suspended, they put in their backup, and the first 2 shots by the Bears went by the grade 10 Chemery, and it was looking pretty dim, but Chippewa didn't fold. They came back, tied the game, and they were actually leading at 3-2. Bears stormed back and forced overtime, and ended up getting the OT winner. Number 9, O'Shell, got a hat trick to put it into overtime. And more recently, in girls soccer, Chippewa Ravens, we had a pretty good interview there, too.
Yeah, so Molly Robertson, who is, of course, the daughter of Mark, who we just had in here, actually, for when we did the Parade for Cancer.
Yeah, I saw that. It was
which
really
on
cool.
Tuesday. Yeah. Well, that was kind of a cool thing for me because I went to Ferris, and I know your son went to Ferris and, participated in that, right? So it was really neat to put a spotlight on that one, but I didn't know that his daughter went to Chippewa. You would have assumed they would go to Ferris, but this was a really cool one because the Ravens, and I was talking to in the golf for kids and stuff that we'll get into. A lot of them go to like high schools, like they're all U18, and we were chatting about some of the soccer and stuff, and they were just saying Chippewa has a really good girls team.
And they attract a lot of the club players. Yeah,
and like the senior boys team too, just absolutely tore up the soccer this year, which was great to see. But this interview with Molly and Abby are just fantastic kids, super smart. Make me feel really bad about myself because there's no way I would sound that smart when I was their age. So it's really neat. This is actually a really fun one to listen to.
So you guys are repeat champions, just beat Algonquin 2-1, and now you're going to Nassau. Molly, how did your team do this season? What makes them different from last season?
We went undefeated this season. We have a lot of strong players all the way through from grade 9 to grade 12, and we really battled through a lot of adversity, lots of morning practices, cold temperatures, and we came out on top because we were the hardest working team.
That's right. And what makes this year special for you?
It's our senior year. I really liked playing an undefeated season for my last year. It was very great. And I just love all the girls and how we work well together.
Now, Molly, when do you graduate?
I also graduate this year. I'm thinking of returning for another year. It's still kind of up in the air, but this season was extra special because it's the last time I'll play with a lot of the girls I've been playing with since I was 4 years old. So really special to share with my sister also, so that's really good. Yeah.
Anyway. Now, do you have any academic future plans?
My goal is to become a neurologist. That's what I'm looking for in the future. So undergraduate, then med school, and work my way up. So yeah.
So something real easy and no effort required.
Yeah, that's right.
And Abby?
I'm going to Dalhousie University in Nova Scotia for engineering.
Oh, wow.
And I want to become a mechanical engineer and work at a mining company.
Wow. Congratulations and best of luck in the future, guys.
Thank you so much.
And for badminton, I got at least one interview in.
That's your favorite sport.
Yeah, it's my favorite sport. Can't tell by
sport.
the coverage, but it really is. I liked that interview mostly because when I walked in there was somebody from Algonquin. I asked them, okay, is anybody here really good? And they pointed to the West Ferris doubles guys, and they said those guys are probably going to be in the final. So I went over there, and then those guys said, well, their top competition was coming from Odyssey. So he predicted it, and the Odyssey guys beat them in the final, and I showed up just for their last game. So it was pretty cool. So it was nice to have an interview with a guy that was pointed out to me by another coach from another school, and he was saying, admittedly, that these other guys are probably the team to beat, and that's what took place. So that's pretty cool. What was his name?
Owen Bass-Taggert.
Oh, thank you.
As long as I didn't mess that, I didn't pull a Paul. I don't think, but it's funny too because I think there was a stretch of like 3 weeks where it's like, hey, did we get badminton? And it's like, no, it was like either snow days or they moved things around. It was so funny.
The avalanche of snow days.
It was and so the funny thing again, going back to the golf for kids stuff, I was talking. So Paul had his son was there, Emmett, his two daughters, like his whole family was there outside of his wife, who works for One Kid's Place. So she, I think she had to work that day, but it's like all kind of connected. And I was just joking. I'm like, does this guy ever go to school? And he was like, no, he went to school like 3 times in the month of March between snow days and March break. And a bunch of them were like that too. It's, there was another one of the girls on the Lakers who were like, she went into school on a snow day and the teacher didn't know who she was because she never showed up because she's just there in tournaments and stuff, which is crazy. But yeah, it's good that we got some badminton coverage, at least a little bit.
Just a little bit. We got some of the action. And we got the awards handed out. And, we might do better next year.
How long you been playing badminton?
2.5 years. 2 years. 2 years.
How'd you do last year?
I placed 3rd at Nassau and 2nd at NDA.
What's your favorite? You always doubles, men's doubles?
Pardon?
Is it men's doubles or singles or?
Men's doubles.
What do you like about badminton?
I just find it a fun sport. It's competitive, but not too competitive, and yeah.
What got you into badminton?
My friends were playing it, so I decided to join, and it's my favorite sport now.
Good hand-eye sport, and you get a lot of exercise out there. Who's your main competition this year?
Marc Giroux and Francis Monod, they're probably our biggest competitors.
And what school are they with?
Odyssey.
So next week is the NDA finals?
Yes.
And we're here at Chippewa, and this is the last week beforehand. You guys, who did you just play, and what was the score?
We played people from Chippewa, Lincoln, and I'm going to get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure his name was Jack, and our scores were 15-3, and 15-6.
What's your partner's name?
Jackson Peak.
And he always been your partner?
Yes, we've been partners for about a year now.
What makes you guys good partners?
We've just played a lot together, so we have really good chemistry, and his strong suits are where my weaknesses are, and where my strong suits are where his weaknesses are.
So what are your strong suits and weaknesses?
I'm good at playing front court, and I'm good at playing defense.
What's it like playing at the next level in NASA?
It's a lot harder than here at NDA. They're longer games that we play, and then there's more competition once you get to NASA.
Does West Ferris have a strong badminton culture and team?
Yeah, we have a good team. We have good coaches, and we have some really strong players, and we have some good players, and we're an all-around competitive team.
Who are your coaches?
Mr. Phillips and Mr. Monroe and Mr. Culhane.
Is there anything in particular you do to prepare for a competition like the NDA finals next week?
Just stretch, kind of. I'll stretch and I'll make sure I have a lot of protein.
Do you play any other sports?
I also play volleyball.
Tell me about some of the other team members on the Trojan team, and whoever you think might have a good chance to going far in the finals.
Lily Wolf is a really good player. She plays senior ladies singles. I think she'll be able to go far at NDA, possibly win it. So we also have some good players like Trixie. She is also senior. I think she'll be able to do good. And another boys doubles team, Ryan Spencer and Caleb Wellen. They're also a good team. We have a lot more good players, but those are some honorable mentions.
So in the off season, you play at KTP, and what's that like?
It's fun. It's a really good coach, Kurt, and it's gotten me a lot better at badminton.
Now, do they have their own tournaments or anything else coming up after after high school?
Yeah, so there's a lot of tournaments before high school, and then there is provincials the day after NASA.
And of course, one of the best basketball players for the season from West Ferris Trojans, Wes Buell, he was given the award with the North Bay Sports Hall of Fame, and his speech topped all the speeches, so we certainly made hay on that one.
Yeah, and he's a basketball player, but really athlete, because he also did well at track and field, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely like a classic definition of an athlete. And the funny thing about this was you handed me it, and you're like, this isn't good audio. And I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. And it took a little bit of work to get it to where you could understand what they were saying. I think the subtitles help a little bit, but
yeah, I'm gonna have to work on my audio recordings.
It's fine. As an audio engineer, I'm used to it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But no, it was a really good, again, talk about a guy who's super smart, very well spoken, and you know, there's this kind of perception that sometimes the jocks or the sports people are kind of dumb, and it's when you hear these people talk, they're usually very up there in academics and what they want to do, and I think maybe that's a little different than when I was in school. Maybe. Or maybe not.
I think my memory's a little tainted by the jocks I did know.
That's fair. But yeah, these kids are incredible. And to be able to win an award at that age for what he was able to do and have a really nice basketball career as well in season was really awesome.
I liked how he really thanked his coach and one of the guys that was really helping him out. That was really special. So let's listen to that again.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so incredibly honored to receive the Bridge Award tonight. Being involved with sports, specifically basketball, football, and running, has been so crucial in shaping who I am today. All those early mornings in the gym, long runs, tough losses, and even better comebacks have all been a part of this journey. However, my success to the amazing people I have in my life. First, to Curtis Heron, who was my first Spartans coach and encouraged me to pursue basketball. To Sean Madigan, who was the first person to call me after he found out I was going to West Ferris and has since spent countless hours in the gym. John Pratt, who has spent so much time pushing me towards excellence in both cross-country and track. Mr. and Mrs. Robertson, who do so much for me. From coaching me in football, to working out with me, to giving me life advice and unending support, thank you for all that you do. Thank you to Dan Catu, who I've been fortunate enough to have for my head coach for the last 2 years of high school basketball. His tireless work ethic, thorough game plans, and belief in us has allowed us to be the underdog NDA champions the last 2 years. One of the most special parts about tonight is sharing this moment with my coach, mentor, and friend, Doyle Anthony. Doyle is the guy that I can call at 6 a.m. and he'll be at the gym right away, ready to work. Doyle and I have a special bond. He's like a second father to me, and I deeply admire his kindness and loyalty. He's the friendliest man I've ever met, and I know that he'll help me with anything. Another huge influence in my life is Sam Levac. Sam first coached me in Spartans 3-on-3 basketball when I was just 9, and has been a huge part of my journey ever since. He's a huge role model for me, not only on the court, but in life, being the kind family man that I aspire to be. Sam is one of the greatest men in my life, and I know that he will always be there for me. One thing I'm very proud of is the tradition of Trojan excellence that's been passed down to me through the likes of the Robertsons, Mr. Catu, Mr. Levac, Doyle, Mr. Tugas, and the many others whose pictures line the halls of West Ferris. Now, most of all, my family. My mom, the kindest, most supportive, most loving person I've ever met, has always been there for me. My dad, who is the most important person in my athletic journey. He has coached me and inspired me from the beginning, teaching me to never settle for anything less than my dreams. To my siblings, Annie, Jonah, and Meta, my grandparents, my aunts and my uncles, and the rest of my family, thank you for always cheering me on and believing in me. And to my girlfriend, Molly, your love and encouragement means more to me than you will ever know. You inspire me to be a better person every single day. This award is not just a reflection of my hard work, it's a reminder of the incredible support system that got me here. I hope I can inspire the next generation of North Bay athletes to dream big and work even harder. Thank you.
So I wasn't on the golf course. How'd it go?
Yeah, it went. It was a
One
it was
Kids
a long
Place
day.
fundraiser, right?
Yeah, so One Kids Place every year puts out a charity golf tournament called Golf for Kids. And it's kind of I think they raised, I don't know the number. I heard it was over $100,000 that they raise, of course, for people who don't know One Kids Place. It is, they do a lot of child care services. So if you have like autism or occupational therapy or physical rehabilitation, stuff like that for children. So they do a lot of great work in our community. So they do these fundraisers to raise money, and it's actually really neat because they have some crazy equipment that they'll buy. For some of the nonverbal kids, they actually have tablets where they can communicate, and it's actually really cool. Who'd be interesting to talk to would be Paul's wife, who's an occupational therapist, and her job is for you as a parent, like how do you kind of deal with having a job and being a parent to these kids that are, need care all the time and that stuff. So it's really neat. So Paul would be able to tell you a little bit more than I do, but it's been something that we've worked with them for a very long time. And yeah, it's really neat actually. So there were a number of cool people. Peter was there. Peter Chirico was one of the first people there. We saw Jim Bruce was there as well. They had a team. So it's a lot of people coming in, like corporate people who will purchase, because it's pretty expensive to get in, but you could put a team in, and it's a shotgun scramble. So that people would start, I think they start 2 to a hole, and they would go all the way through, and we got there around 11. I think they teed off at 12, and we left around 6. So it was a super long day, but basically what was happening was they had the Junior Lakers there, so the 18A Junior Lakers team was there, and their whole thing at the hole, so it was hole 16, was the Source for Sports tent. And so we had Abby Fry. So if you saw any of our socials, you'd see the interviews that Abby did with a bunch of different people as they came through the hole. And their whole thing was they had Olivia, who will put into this as well. She was teeing off. So after everybody teed off, she would tee off. And if she shot better than your group, you would have to sit down with them and they get to pitch you a sponsorship. So it teaches the kids about sponsorship and pitching and marketing and all that kind of stuff. So it was a really neat thing, a way to get their name out there and to try to get sponsors.
Oh, right on.
Which was kind of nice.
Who all got interviewed?
I don't remember. Let's see who we had. So we did have the Hospital Foundation. I know Tammy Morrison was there. We had...
and the athletes?
Yeah. So, we had Connor Punnett. So former
right.
Barry Colts player. He was like the very first set of people. So Abby she had to get into the groove a little bit. But we had Connor there. We had a couple of battalion. We saw Adam Dennis actually was on the first hole. He didn't get interviewed, but he was on the Source for Sports team. We didn't see them come back around, so we have no idea how good they did. Ryan Ullahan was another one that we got interviewed. So he was a great interview as well. So there was a number of sports. A lot of them were more business oriented. A lot of like the mining and investment kind of people. But yeah, there were a couple of athletes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, lots of people hit the ball pretty well.
Beautiful day for it.
It was a little too beautiful, as you can tell from my receding hairline of sunburn.
You're not all white.
I'm slightly not white, and I was applying sunscreen the whole day too. No, it was a really good cause. It was fun to be out there. We got some great footage and put a spotlight on what it was. And so I want to just throw it to Paul now, and he did a little wrap up stuff for him to make sure that he still got in on the episode.
Hey, let's hear from Paul.
We're here today at the One Kids Place golf tournament, and I'm with Abby Fry, who's been working the Source for Sports hole and interviewing everyone that's come up to the hole. Abby, what's been the best part of today? Like some highlights? Give us an idea of what you've been doing.
Well, in all my interviews, I kind of get to hear about everyone's favorite parts of their golf game and their favorite parts about this tournament and how good it is for the community. And I think it's cool how it brings everyone together to support such a great cause.
And of your interviews today, did you have a favorite one?
Well, I did ask the funniest questions to my parents group with like Ryan Ullahan, so that one might be my favorite. But if we're thinking like best answers like about the tournament, I would say Barb Allen and Tammy Morrison. That one I really liked.
So, was this your first time doing this? Is this something you really enjoyed? Is this going to be something in the future that we're going to have you working the mic and going around town covering sports?
Yeah, that would be fun. I'd love to do that. It was fun.
All right, so we're going to work on finding a way to incorporate you into the Echo Sportscast throughout the year as maybe a Chippewa correspondent into that. Okay. Well, again, I think you did an amazing job, and I was really thrilled this went even better than I could have imagined. So thanks for doing that, and great job.
Hey, thank you so much.
So I'm here with Rory McLean, who's been working today at the Source for Sports Echo Sportscast hole, and you've been busy today interviewing and actually talking to all the golfers as they came in. Tell us a little bit about what you were talking to the golfers about.
So I was talking to all the golfers about sort of a different approach to sponsoring a minor sports team.
And how did that, what was the reception, and maybe actually first tell us a little bit about like what the different approaches that we're looking to do.
Yeah, so we're just looking to be a little bit more involved with some of the businesses that are sponsoring these teams and look at maybe the opportunities that we can learn from them to hopefully help us further out the line in life. And it was received really well. Yeah, lots of people were really excited and loved the different approach and loved how engaged we were and happy to help us out.
And would you say that this was a better use of your time than going to school today?
Yeah, 100%. It's sunny and hot. Loved this.
Thank you very much. That was a great job. Well, I'm with Olivia Purcell, who's been, well, tell us a little bit about what your role today at the hole's been.
Hit the ball on the green. That's my job today.
And how's that been going for you?
It's been all right. I've landed a few. A few have gone waywards, but had a few close to the hole.
So maybe tell us a little bit about what the challenge was, what we were asking people to do, and how you got into this.
Okay, the challenge is if I land my ball on the green, we get a chance to give them a pitch about why people should sponsor us and get to know their businesses. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
So you've had a great shot. You've got a couple more to go. Did you send any into anyone's backyards?
No, I don't think I got that far. But
would it be fair to say that 75% of the time it works every time?
yeah, maybe I give it 75, 25.
Perfect. Amazing. Well, you've been a great sport, and you've had some great shots that people have used today, and it's a great cause. Was this a better place to be than school today?
Way better. I'll do this any day instead of school.
All right. Thanks very much.
Spring is here, and that means one thing. Baseball is back. At Source for Sports North Bay, we're proud to be part of every pitch, every catch, and every moment that brings our community together on the diamond. Whether it's outfitting little leaguers for their very first game, helping local teams suit up for the season, or simply sharing the love of the sport, we're here for it. We're more than just a sports store. We're neighbors, coaches, teammates, and fans. And we're proud to support the leagues, schools, and families who make North Bay's baseball scene so special. Wherever your sports journey takes you, make sure you visit Source for Sports North Bay at 1321 Fisher Street so we can help you along your way.
Hey North Bay, it's time to celebrate. The city is turning 100 and Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay invites you to the party. Be at home in our spacious suites, each featuring a kitchen. Yeah, a real kitchen. Also, enjoy our comfy living spaces and brand new fitness gear so you can keep feeling great while staying on budget. Planning a big bash or business event? We've got the perfect meeting spaces right here on site. Plus, with our partnerships at The Grand and Stock Transportation, your guests and delegates are in great hands. Want to know the best part? We're right beside the beautiful Cape Paceway, steps to North Bay's lively waterfront, and moments from downtown's shopping, dining, and entertainment. Celebrate the Centennial with us all year long with an exclusive discount. Just use the code CENTENNIAL when booking your stay. Be at home with Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay. Join the party today at 495 Oak Street West or call us at 705-495-3000.
Well, I didn't get out to the Mattawa Canoe Race this time. I was too busy turning 60 at Hacienda.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't get out there either. I was too busy still nursing injuries from last year.
From the race, eh?
From the race, yeah. We got
should
out
we
of
play
Trout Lake.
Show that clip
No.
again? No, okay. Well,
no, there was no clip. I did not capsize the boat. I'll tell you what. You can go back to Backroads Bill podcast and find the episode, and you can see what they're talking about.
There you go. But it looks like they had a great turnout. 54 teams from across province and a few from out of the country participated. It's always a great race. Paddlers launched from Olmsted. They went to North Bay and made their way through. They launched at Olmsted in North Bay, 64-kilometer trek, 5 mandatory portages and low water levels to Mattawa Island, competing for the top spot. Dean Brown from Hamilton and Mark Clout from Port Colborne. Mark's actually from North Bay as well, but they were in the Pro C2 men's class, and they took the top spot in a time of 6 hours and 42 minutes and 31 seconds. 7 other teams took part in the 13-kilometer family and adult races that were launched from Samuel de Champlain Provincial Park. A buddy of mine actually did this race for the first time, and he didn't finish under 7.
No, there are like very serious people in this race.
Yeah,
it was. I am very proud. Okay, so
I think his time was like 11 hours, and
yes.
someone said, "Whoa!" I said, "Well, no, that's not so bad if
and
first time."
So for context, you basically go from average Joe's is where you launch. You go through all the way through Trout Lake, which by the way is like 10 kilometers. So we got to the government dock, which is
they had a headwind again this year.
Did they?
That's what my buddy said.
Yeah, and it was because it was rough to the point where we were so far behind. The police people came up and were like, "Are you guys in the race?" We're like, oh, "Come on."
Yeah.
We ended up getting all the way to the government dock before
McPherson Drive.
McPherson Drive, yeah, which by the way is 10 kilometers. So I'm pretty proud of that. I had no training. I hadn't canoed in a very long time. 10 kilometers is pretty good. Just it's like if you went and ran like 10 kilometers in a race. I was not feeling good after that, though.
Yeah.
And even that took like an hour and a half, I think it was, or something crazy. But yeah, you basically go through like Turtle Lake, and then you go through Talon, and all the way up to like the Mattawa River and close to like Samuel de Champlain. So it's and when you say what did they say? Five mandatory portages. So if you go down the rapids, yes. If not, it's like 13 portages.
Yeah.
And you have to go...
I think my buddy did 7.
Before you even get a break, you have to go 13 kilometers. So that's the toughest stretch because you have to go nonstop for 13 kilometers, which... Yeah, anyways. It's really good. If you have the stamina for it, it's a really cool race. The 13 kilometer, though, is probably a better starting spot. But anyways, there were some cool people in this race, though, that we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys just talked to Carol Zimbalati a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
She does it all the time.
Normally with her husband, but he couldn't do it this year.
Yep. So they did their, I don't know if I guess they must have done the shorter race. The 13K?
They did the family, right?
Because they had a time of 2 hours and 13 minutes, and there's no way they completed this thing in 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Yeah, well, they started at Champlain Provincial Park. That's where the family won. 13 kilometers is what it is.
And there's also time limits. So if you don't get to there's different checkpoints. If you don't get to a certain checkpoint by a certain time, you're automatically disqualified.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind. But no, there were going through the names, there were a couple of cool ones. So again, shout out to the Backroads Bill podcast because Sean Loughy and Lauren Anderson are actually, we're going to be talking to them on Wednesday. That episode won't be out we're so backlogged. Like we have so many in the bank. I think that's going to be like August that it's going to come out. Yeah. Bill's been getting a lot of people through the door. We're doing like 3 in a row next Wednesday. It's crazy. But they're going to come in because they are doing the Yukon. I want to say it's like the Gold Race or something. It's like a 700 kilometer race, like in the Yukon and stuff. It's like $2,500 to enter. I think it's the longest. I'll know more once I actually do this interview, but I'm pretty sure it's like one of the longest stretches or canoe races in the country, which is pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to talk to them. And then Buck Miller was another guy we did have on. He was a cyclist and he's an arborist now out in Huntsville. So that was actually a really fun interview with him. He fat bike tired all the way across the longest ice road in the country, which was kind of cool, which is way up north. And I think that's the only people I know from here.
Well, let me just call out a couple of the locals that placed well in their categories. What I have here in the rec women's from Callender, Susan Weiskopf and Sandra Garvey, they placed first at 11 hours, 25 minutes, 46 seconds. Placing third in the rec men's A was Michael Stemp and Randy Herman from North Bay. Rec men's B division, we have Chris Frappier and Wes Chambers. They placed second. They're from Chisholm and North Bay. First, you already mentioned the Lougheed and Anderson from East Ferris and Corbeil for the rec mixed A. Placing third in the USCA C1 Open with a time of 12 hours, 16 minutes. Rod Burns of Bonneville. I think that's the last local one, except for in the family division, we had George Sandrin with Jessica J. Ryan from Sudbury. So George is from Corbeil, and they were first in the family at 2 hours and 9 minutes.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really, I highly recommend for people to do the 13 kilometer one. But to be able to do the whole thing, it's really neat. They give you a little dinner. We didn't make it that far. We made it an hour in, but there's a whole dinner and stuff. And I want to get Bill out there because obviously he's right there at the Ecology Center.
Yeah.
I'd like to do it with Bill. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that would be cool. One other guy in the open rec, David Kousel, he finished first in open rec in 2 hours, 17 minutes, and I believe that's the 13 kilometer rep. Yeah, cool. Well, you know what? One of these days, I paddled for the first time in a canoe on this adventure I went on the first week of June, and I was around Commanda Island basically down through the chutes and then back. I could probably make some of it, but the portages would kill me. That's the thing.
Yeah. And we had we rented a boat from like the one place that was out near Corbeil. I can't remember the name of it. It was not a lake canoe. Yeah. Like it's not like a fiberglass or whatever the really light ones are. It would have been difficult to portage actually. But some people they take it very, very, very seriously. I remember actually speaking of Carol Zimbalati, I remember her last year. Like they had like the grapes and stuff, and they'll have like the packs that you can. Yeah. Anyways, it's a really cool thing, but you have to be very fit. Like, and by very fit, I mean like you need to be paddling all the time to do it. You don't realize how unfit you are until you try to do something. You try to move your body.
There's a little bit of Bulldog news here. June 14th came down to last play in the red zone stop by the Bulldogs, and the Tykes U12. They won 24-22 against the undefeated Peel Panthers. So congrats to the Bulldogs Tyke team. The Bantam U14 team was up against the Junior Argos, and they won 34-12 as well. So that is a good thing. The senior Bulldogs, I believe they lost 18-8 against the Ottawa Sooners in their home opener. And I'm not sure when they play next, but it's good to have some Bulldogs results there. Congratulations to them. And I believe we have 2 games this weekend on Sunday at 1 and 3. We have the Tyke team on the 22nd playing the Argos. Yeah, it's at 1 o'clock. And then the Bantams play Peterborough. So see you at Omichelle, 1 and 3 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, I see them practicing all the time at Johnson. Because we play softball right beside it. So it's usually either them, though I think they're the younger kids, or it's Ultimate Frisbee. One of the two.
Maybe we'll get a couple of the photos. I know that they post a lot on their Facebook from those teams, so we'll try to grab a couple of those. And we'll credit the photographer when we make sure we got the right one. Yeah.
No, it's great to see football have legs during the summer. I'm going to say something very controversial here. I like the CFL more than the NFL. I think it's more interesting. I know people are not very. Every time I say that,
Why do you find it more interesting?
It's just there's only 3 downs, so every down matters. I find in the NFL the first down is kind of a either run or you check down. It's kind of pointless a little bit. So it's more interesting. They have more rugby rules, so you see interesting stuff happen all the time. And it's just there's a level of amateur. It's not as professionally clean as the NFL, right? So it's a little bit more atmospheric. It's a little bit more passion driven. I don't know. It's just neat. I don't watch football a lot, which apparently everybody here watches the NFL. So there's just something about the amateur feel that I like. So yeah, that's just me. I don't know.
Well, I like the CFL game. A lot of punting. You're not quite sure how it's going to go, and you're right. Everything counts. I do follow NFL more closely at the playoff times. It's my Steelers are almost at Leaf level of disappointment sometimes.
Did they make the playoffs last year?
No.
Oh. I don't know. I'm a Seahawks fan, so it's not like really that much better.
Well, they kind of, they were in it and then they choked. Right?
Didn't they just sign Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, that's another reason why I don't like the team anymore.
Yeah, I guess he's kind of a controversial.
I'll be a Steeler fan for life, but I might skip some seasons. And with Aaron Rodgers I don't hate the guy, but he's not my favorite.
What is it with the Green Bay quarterbacks just getting ire of everyone? Like Brett Favre, right?
Yeah.
Perfect storybook ending, ruins it by coming back, and then goes to Minnesota, their longtime rival.
Yeah.
And then all the controversy and fraud and stuff that happened.
I think maybe they get their brains frozen in Green Bay.
I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I like the NFL. It's an interesting product, but it's crazy how much some people love it. And I get why. I watch a lot of soccer, which is kind of the same vein. Like they play once a week, and it's easy to follow, right? I think that's why it gets so much
So you watch soccer or football?
Football,
Yeah.
the actual football, yeah. Yeah, a lot of Premier League stuff. But it's nice because it starts in the morning, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be like Saturday morning, 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., depending on the start. And then it's done by like 12. So you can watch like an entire day's worth of sports and you're like the rest of your day is still there.
Well, where do we go from here? I would say we go to the North Bay Minor Girls Softball Association. I was driving past Amelia Park. I was heading to actually a men's baseball game, which we'll update.
Yeah, I see them there all the time.
Yeah. So I said, well, I better turn around and check it out. So I got a little bit of footage. U15, it was the Diamonds playing the Steelers. And
what a name.
But yeah.
Diamonds and Steelers.
Yeah, but Steelers spelled Bay Steelers. I believe the Steelers were going to win. They had the better record, 5-1-1 in the U15. There's 3 teams there. In fact, I believe that a lot of those players that team was provincial champions last year. But I got to double check that. We're just starting our coverage of the North Bay Minor Girls Softball League, and I'm hoping to be at some more games and get some more detail for you. But here's just a small taste of what we have of somebody stealing home and scoring for the Steelers.
You don't want to get footage of our game? You don't want to see a bunch of middle-aged people?
If I went
balls?
out and did some commentary on the men's slow pitch there, or co-ed, or whatever you guys are doing, man.
Division B's men's softball,
just shoot me.
Okay.
Just shoot me.
It's to be fair.
No, it'd be fun. Like, I know it's good recreational stuff.
Honestly, though, like, it's actually fun to watch because it hits all the time, right? Like, people don't usually, but the banter is really fun. Like, it's fun to play in because some people take it seriously, but like, it's just, I don't know, like, even if you mess up, it's like you mess up, whatever. It's more fun to play. Like, it wouldn't be fun to watch.
Yeah, it'd be fun for a casual game, right?
Yeah. Like, if I recommend it for somebody who wants to get back into sports, I would recommend getting into it because, again, the pressure's pretty much off. Like, most of the people that played, like, I used to play baseball, but a lot of people don't. Like, so we actually won our first game last night. Yeah, so we're like 1-7. But we did it, you know?
Yeah, well, these little goals in life. You
missed a couple of my diving catches, it's whatever. It's fine. It is what it is.
I should go check it out just for the laugh.
Yeah, you'd probably just turn around and start getting the Bulldogs in the background.
But the real big plug for the men's is they've announced the teams for their 4th annual, now called Dave Sad Men's Baseball Classic, June 27th, 29th. And they got teams from Timmins, Sudbury, Quebec. It's looks like up near, I can't even say it, Couronne Nord Royal. That's the name.
That's not even close.
What would you say?
Well, it's just CN.
Well, okay, you can just say CN.
Royu.
CN Royu. Okay. And Mississauga Cubs are coming. Windsor Wolverines, Bowmanville Dodgers, and there's North Bay White, North Bay Blue.
Yeah. No, and it's great that the fact that obviously Jacob's a big part of like making this happen, and to be able to coordinate all of these teams from all these different places is just a testament to what the league is doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
On top of course what they do for the actual men's league and sorting that out. One thing I noticed, I go by, like, because I live in Ferris, so I go by Veterans and whatever. Well, I don't know what the soccer field's called right beside there, the one by the overpass. I don't know if there's a name for it. Is it also Veterans? The soccer field? The big one, not the one that's behind the parking lot. Like,
I think it's the veteran soccer pitch.
Anyways, so those ones are always popping off, right? Also, where Tweedsmere used to be, that's now they used to be a baseball field. RIP. Used to play on that field all the time. That was a spicy thing when that got taken away. But we see people play soccer all the time there as well. Is Omichelle as busy as those places?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not like Omichelle's not being used and these places are. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
They got the younger players at the Veterans for soccer and at near Tweedsmere, the kids, and then you see the club teams always playing in that spare field right beside the Mike Shea, right in front of it.
Yeah.
So almost every Sunday you see rep teams playing there.
What about baseball? Who plays at the baseball diamonds?
Well, they play near Pete Pelangio as well, eh?
Yeah.
At the Optimist Club. And but I think the Bantams might play baseball out at Omichel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because what do they have? 2 fields, I think?
At Optimist?
No, at Omichel.
Well, they have only the one that's for baseball, and that's the one that in the middle.
What's the other one? Is there only one baseball diamond on there? I thought there were multiple.
No.
Oh.
There's 2 slow pitch.
Oh, there's
one baseball.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't realize that the slow pitch one was different.
Yeah, the ones you either staring into the sun or your sun staring into you.
I have some beef about. I remember I umpired at the Omichel like once, and the clay got stuck in my cleats so bad, like because it rained a little bit, so bad that I had to you had to literally like scrape it off your cleats. It was this was back when it.
I think
first
they had
opened.
the wrong clay.
Yeah, so I don't know. Has it gotten better since it has been getting updates and stuff?
I don't get any more complaints to me, but I'm not sitting at the Nugget sports desk anymore. So
yeah, that's fair. Interesting. All I know is that the sun was in your eyes, and anyways.
Right now it's rock dust from the arena being built that nobody wanted.
You should talk to Chris about that one.
Yeah, for sure. I forgot to mention, also, there's a highlight from North Bay Minor Girls that I saw on their Facebook. There was congratulations to the U13 Blaze as they came home consolation finalists in an early tournament in Milton. Despite a first game jitters, they were lost in their opening game. They came back to win the next 2, 11-6 and 15-8. And they narrowly missed the bronze medal in the consolation final with a score of 8-7. So they're very super proud of these girls. They worked hard, had fun, and they're looking forward to the Barrie tournament at the end of the month. Well, that's our North Bay Echo Sportscast number 40.
I'm Ben Sargent for the first and probably last time in front of the camera.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe.
I'm Dave Dale, and glad to have you. Please like, share, comment, and if your sport's not covered, all it takes is an email to Chris at northbayecho.ca, and he'll pass it along to me.